Hello. Is art really meaningful? Okay, that's a topic for a lot of artists in this time of the Corona COVID-19 pandemic time. That's a crazy time for artists, isn't it? And I can really see how many artists, especially freelancers, are really impacted by it because simply where do I pay my bills from, then I'm not allowed to give my concerts or play my music in the public so many people can hear it, will pay, and I can buy my bread and what I need. So this is really a hard time for a lot of people, and I can see a lot of artists are suffering and thinking about, is this really meaningful what I'm doing? And even that's hard, I think it's although a chance. Like in every crisis, there is a chance, a potential of chance. Why? In German, we say, under pressure, you see what is inside. And although this very special time may be for you a time to reflect in a new way, how am I connected with the art, with my art? Is it really something I want to live for? And maybe you come to this point under these circumstances that you might say, okay, art is really great, but it's not my life. That can be. And maybe it's a good decision, I can't say. But I hope that when your heart is really burning for your art, for your music, that it's not the fear, just the sheer fear of how can I survive, that leads you to give up. Fear is never a good advisor, that's for sure. And if you are thinking about this, I really want to encourage you to don't give up. Your art is meaningful. Why, might you say? I think art is meaningful. Why? First of all, for yourself. Really. Can you remember why you started doing your art? When you started playing your instrument? What fascinated you? I think this very special time is a good chance to reflect on this again. Why did I start loving my way of art? Because we all are not here because there wouldn't be enough music in the air, or I'm not a musician, I'm painting and so on. I do not paint because there aren't enough pictures in the world. No, there are plenty of it, and many, 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 much better than what I would ever be able to do. But I draw and paint because it's good for me, first of all. And what made you start playing your instrument? And maybe this time, even because you are not able to give concerts and to play in the public and to do your art business, what is part of our life as artists, maybe this brings you back to this point, why did I do it and why it's important for myself? And I think this should be again and again the source why we do music, because it's simply good for me. I love this moment when my nib or my brush is tipping the canvas or the paper and makes these signs and these lines, and step by step an image comes to existence. I think, wow, it has to do something with what I see and what I do, but it's different. It's not just a repetition of what I do, what I can see. It's a new interpretation, so I can answer to what I see. And I love this process so much. That's why I love drawing. That's why I like my art. What's for you? But art is not just meaningful for yourself. Even that's a good starting point. Art is also meaningful for other people. First of all, for society. One picture says more than 1,000 words. One simple song one poem, one novel, whatever, is able to plant an idea from one people's mind into the heart of thousands and millions of people. Isn't that powerful? That's what art is able to do. And also in this image, we know that good ideas, hopeful ideas, warning ideas, whatever, are really needed. And artists play an important role. Art is important for our society, for our cultural memory, and so on. But also for very single individual human beings in this world. Art is amazing. Your art is important for individuals. Your art is able to restore and to renew my belief in the goodness and the beauty. Why? Because maybe in the middle of my stressful life, I can listen to music. And that reminds me, wow, that's simply nice. That's simply beautiful. And it touches my heart and it opens my mind. Wow, there's more than just my stressful situation right now. There is more. And your art is able to help me in this. Also, your art might show me a painful situation and it reminds me, okay, there is more pain in the world, not just mine. And it opens me to, okay, I'm not the only one that suffers for any reason. And maybe my suffering is just a little compared to what I see or hear in your art. And that helps me to come back to reality and to be balanced. And especially you as musicians, do you know the concert hall is one of the very few places in the world. What is a safe place where I can come to, sit down, and just receive for the next hour or two or some. Without doing anything. I'm not in the need to do something. If I want, I applaud you, and I want to. But even that, I am just here sitting down, receiving. There are not many places in the world where I can do this. Do you notice? When you are playing, maybe on a stage, you are giving me on the other side of the stage, in the auditorium, you give me like a present, a very special time and very special moments. And that's why art is meaningful. It can open us a new world and bring us to a point of rest. And so that's not surprising that scientists find out that music, enjoying music or art at all, is activating brain areas in our mind, in our brain, that are very similar to these areas that are activated when I'm dreaming, praying, meditating, connecting with God. And that brings us to the last point, what I think your art can be very, very meaningful, because art is able to open a new space, a new world for the receiver, and also can connect me with God, with the holy, with the divine, with the eternal, and show me, oh, there might be more, or even when I'm believing already, can strengthen my faith and say, yes, there is goodness, God is good. There is beauty in His creation, and pain is there, yes, that's why Jesus is there, but it's not the end. It's not the plan of God that we are suffering. He wants us for the beauty, for the goodness. So art is really meaningful, but art will not save the world. That's also good to keep in mind. Art will not save the world, I'm convinced. And although I think that's a good news, because artists do not have to save the world. You do not have to save the world. And your playing your music will not feed me in a hunger when I'm hungry. Your art will not even make your help with a hungry stomach. And that is a good news, that art is not saving the world, and the best news is that God did already. That's the reason why Jesus came. we do not have. We just can, as artists, remember people. Hey, God is there. There is goodness. There is beauty in the world. And there's hope. I love this quote of a German author 200 years ago, Jean-Paul, French name, but he wrote, "Art is not the bread of life, but it's wine." I love this sentence. And that's really what I experienced in my life. Art is not the bread of life. That's Jesus. What really saved the world is Jesus. But it's a wine. It remembers me. It brings this beauty and this goodness in the world and reminds me. So art is really meaningful. I hope for you that this special time, and hopefully we will not be faced with such a situation soon again. Maybe this special time can lead you to think new about what do I want to be as an artist? What should my art be for? What should it make with the society, with the people around me, and with myself? I know many artists come to a point to write down an artist's statement, just to bring it into some simple words and sentences. It can be hard work to express it. Why do I art? But maybe that's a good idea to use this time. You're not allowed to give a concert or whatever, just to sit down, to reflect on why do I my art? How can my art be meaningful for myself, for others? And art can be, your art can be beautiful, meaningful, world-saving, but it doesn't have to. So maybe this is a good exercise, and maybe you started with a little prayer, because I don't know if you know God or not, but I know Jesus knows you. He put this desire on doing art, playing your instrument, singing, whatever you're doing, into your heart, and He is able to use it for His very, very good thoughts for you, for the world, for other people, for our societies. That would be awesome when His thoughts come into your world. Wouldn't it be amazing? Stay blessed.
Bless the Lord, oh my soul, oh my soul, worship His holy name, sing like never before, oh my soul, I worship your holy name. The sun comes up, it's new day dawning. It's time to sing your song again. Whatever may pass and whatever lies before me, let me be singing when the evening comes. Bless the Lord, oh my soul, oh my soul, worship His holy name, sing like never before, oh my soul, I worship your holy name. You're rich in love and you're slow to anger. Your name is great and your heart is kind. For all your goodness I will keep on singing. 10,000 reasons for my heart to find. Bless the Lord, oh my soul. you.